Today's 966th day that I'm sharing lessons on learn. I'm learning how this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about communication, how to properly communicate, how to improve communication. I think that this is a topic that is a foundational topic that needs to be reviewed on a consistent basis, weekly basis, because you're not able to live your life significantly without communication. Even communication with yourself. You're able to listen to yourself, tell yourself, ask yourself, but at the same time you're able to think about improving the most important thing in life. And that's the relationships. And how you improve relationships? By communicating. And of course there's a lot of different ways of communication. It could be words, it could be the body language, it could be tonality. But today we focus on really how really actually improve communication, because everything is around communication. Business, health, everything is about communication. So today, someone said that your quality of your life will be determined by your quality of communication. So that means your quality of life will be determined by your quality of communication. If it's that's so important. So we need to look into really how we able to improve their communication to make sure that we improve the quality of our lives. So number one is active listening. That means we really learn how to actually listen. So that means really pay attention, because we're able to really listen, but pay attention to the phone or everything around us. So being able to put full attention in someone in front of you, that is one of the highest levels of communication, because you be able to engage and hear and understand another person. At the same time, we need to show that we are listening. That means we're able to really, by sounds, by our body language, and being able to engage. And we need to show that, because of course when another person is able to see that you are engaged, full engaged, and you active listening, they will be able and be willing to share more. At the same time, we're able to really provide some kind of feedback. That means that when you're able to listen, you're able to really share your thoughts, you put it in your own words, and it's really share what you learn from that language. Because sometimes when you don't have that feedback, sometimes other person doesn't know what you learn. Because one thing is what you say, other thing is what the other person receives. So sometimes we need to understand what you try to represent and what other person was able to receive. Second thing is that's important is clarity and conciseness. So that means that we really want to sure that we are clear. Because sometimes some people want to over-deliver and over-explain, and we actually do not need 100% information. And some people just are not clear and just really explain too little things. So we need to be concise and clear, but at the same time we need to deliver information. So moderation is very, very important in communication. We don't over-deliver and over-explain things and then confuse things, but we need to deliver some information. So, and that information needs to be concise and clear and enough. And that's this art of communication. That's what you need to develop to understand how much we need to deliver, how much you need to share, and the other person is understanding us very well and really able to use that communication at the highest level. Number 3 is non-verbal communication. That means that could be body language, of course, the way how you move your hands, the way how you move your shoulders, the back, everything, the way how you move communicates a lot. Sometimes much more communicates the way how you move rather than what you say, because you're able to say one thing, but your body tells totally different. Because people sometimes say things that sounds confident, but body language says that I'm shy, I'm disappointed, I'm struggling. So body language is very, very important. How you're able to really learn how to communicate. At the same time, facial expressions is one of the best way to really show something, because you know that sometimes person is not able to say anything. They just sitting in their corner, and with their face they communicate everything. The story behind it, everything is communicated by facial expressions. That's why we need to really work very hard to communicate and learn how to really use because sometimes we do not want to communicate negative message, but if we do not control our body language, that means that it will lead to wrong messaging. We don't want to send a message, but because we do not control ourselves, we'll send a wrong message. It's very important to control our non-verbal communication. Number 4 is confidence. This is a massive in communication. Sometimes it says that conviction is everything. That means you're able to say the exactly same message. One person is telling the same message, another person says exactly the same message. But who other people will listen? They will listen who is more convicted. Conviction is something that attracts because we are lacking a lot of times conviction, because we are looking for answers, we're looking for 100%. And when someone have full conviction, that combination enhances tenfold, because now if that person believes, that means there's truth. There's a lot of truth in it, and I am much more willing to really listen what he has to say. Conviction is a beautiful, important thing. At the same time, we need to really keep positive. Positive. That means communication that's ingrained with positivity. People have a lot of negativity in life in general. So if you bring negativity with your communication, of course, we want you to stay away. But if you really bring in positivity, hope in communication, and at the same time that confidence through conviction, hope and conviction and positivity is a beautiful combination to really have that improvement of the communication. Number 5 is empathy. It's a beautiful thing. So that means that when we want to be leaders, we need to understand that we will need to understand where people are coming from, understand others, and put ourselves in the other person's shoes and understand, okay, where are you coming from? I really want to help you. But if I don't know where you are, I'm not able to help you to get to where you want to be. So the first thing that we need to understand is in communication, we need to understand that we need to develop empathy. So of course, if somebody's be able to say, okay, I want to improve communication, potentially we think about that we just always need to communicate. That's right. We always need to communicate. That is a big part of it. But if you actually want to have that very, very massively benefit great communication, sometimes we need to do, okay, what are we able to do around communication? And what is it around communication? Empathy. Empathy is one of the essential things around communication, that we're able to improve communication by not communicating. And of course, empathy will improve by really understanding other people, and really, when you communicate with people, try to work on empathy, trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes and really respond properly. So respond in a way that you're able to say that, oh, this person is feeling this. That means I'm able to really act in accordingly. So if someone is going through very tough days, that means maybe not rush that day, not rush to work, not rush in the business. Maybe it's time to really spend some time into feeling that emotion, feeling that terrible emotion, and really understand how actually you're feeling. And that will build massive trust. And of course, you're able to work the business, you're able to create something else. But now at least you build that connection together, because you really acknowledge that the emotions are there, coming from a lot of different things. And really responding properly in empathy and communication is very important. Number 6 is feedback. Communication. That means you need to really track your progress. But if you track your progress, that means that sometimes the best way to track your progress is asking for feedback. So you're communicating, and then you're able to ask, okay, what did you receive? So by what other person received, you are able to really measure how well you communicated. And sometimes people who are amazing communicators, you're able to really share how you communicate, and they give you the feedback how you did, or maybe will give you tips what you're able to do to really communicate. So feedback is very, very important regarding improving communication. At the same time, we want to make sure that we give constructive feedback as well, because a lot of times, one thing that is really allow us to develop in the highest level is not just learning from someone, but really teaching someone the same communication. So when you teach someone communication, the things that you already know, because it might be that there's, of course, 10 levels of communication that everyone needs to learn. That means that maybe you are at level 4. So it means you're able to teach people who are number 1, number 2, number 3. That means that there's a lot of things that you're able to develop and teach. And when you teach those people who want to develop, of course, you improve and have more depth in your understanding of communication. So teaching is very, very important, giving constructive feedback to others as well. Number 7 is adjusting according to audience. This is a beautiful thing. Beautiful. Adjusting according to the audience. And this question always that is very, very important in that sense. Do you feel that leaders need to show up to their followers, or followers need to show up to a leader? No. Leader is a servanthood. Leadership is servanthood. So leader is a server. So he needs to show up and really find a way how to connect with followers, how to add value to them, really adjust according to audience. So how they want to be communicated. Some people want over text, some people want over the phone, some people over the email. How do you want to be communicated with? So I mean, it's just being able to understand your followers and really meet where they are is essential to improve your communications. And again, adapt your style. It might be that be able to adjust the way how we communicate. That means the tonality be able to change, the speed of our and the pace of our communication, because some people want to speak very, very, very fast and very, very direct. Few things and that's it. But the other person wants to slow down, they wants to have a lot of details. As a leader, you're able to adjust because you improve your communication, you're able to do that. So if one person really feel and share and slowly and get into the mode and maybe going through the stories, and the other person, the direct person, doesn't want stories. He said there's a saying that don't give me a story, just give me a baby. So that means that being able to adjust, understanding where people are coming from and really adjust your style is very important in communication. Number 8 is improving writing skills. And again, communication, you can communicate even through writing. But there's so many people say that if you want to improve your communication skills, that means you're able to write it down. Because when you improve your writing skills, that most likely will allow you to improve your speaking communication skills. Even though that writing is communication and speaking communication. So it means when you do speaking, you potentially will have a chance to improve your writing. But when you do writing, you most likely will improve your speaking as well. At the same time, when you're able to really want to really learn how to communicate a certain message, when you're able to really write it down and have that written down and you review it and rewrite again, you're able to really clear that message out, that you're able to communicate in the highest possible way. Number 9 is manage stress. Manage stress. A lot of times you're not able to communicate. We are not able to communicate properly because we are under stress. We are underperforming. We have a lot of thoughts and a lot of stress, anxiety, or so many different emotions that we have that is in our mind. And because of those emotions, we're not able to express ourselves very well because our brains are occupied by all those anxieties, stress, the thoughts, and everything between. So we have less capacity to really think about great ideas, great questions, great answers. So of course, we want to make sure that we manage our stress. We manage how to really stay calm. We manage how to really practice relaxation techniques to make sure that we are mindful, present, and we're able to be mindful, but we're able to be present. Of course, it's much easier to communicate in the highest possible way. And number 10 is continuous learning. That means we're able to read, learn. That means we're able to practice. We're able to read about communication. We can practice communication because there is a beautiful thing. Everyone heard it. That the more you sweat in the practice, the less you bleed in a war. And that means that a lot of times is when you really need to communicate when you want to get a new job, when you want to really communicate and find another partner, when you want to have a friend, you want to build a business, everything is communication. So that means that when you practice communication, when you can practice in front of the mirror, you can practice with your friends, you can practice in sales with a colleague. So there's a lot of ways to really learn how to communicate and practice and really make sure that we're able to learn, develop, and see the progress. Because at the end of the day, we need to practice regularly because what you do not use, you lose it. What you don't use, lose it. If you don't practice, if you don't exercise, you will lose the muscle. If you don't practice communication, you lose communication muscle as well. So practice is very, very important. Very, very important regarding communication. So I hope you should reflect as well. How much do you spend time on communication? When was the last time that you reflected what you're doing on communication? How often do you communicate? Because I think that I was missing that. I saw that, okay, I need to learn communication. I want to improve communication. And I think that we need to look into communication, what we do about communication on a weekly, monthly basis, every single month, every single week, because communication is, as at the beginning I said, that the quality of your communication will dictate the quality of your life. And if it's that so important, then it means that we need to invest our time accordingly to that. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.